Welcome back to another episode of Tit For Tat podcast. I'm your host, Latif Love. Today Jaden couldn't make it today, but we still had a good episode out. So my friend Isaiah is filling in for him, and then I got Max.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Today we're gonna stick with NFL. Today we got the wild card weekend coming up, so we're gonna speak on that and then some other topics. So let's get right into it. First, we got the Bears' future. So the Bears lost on purpose, I think, last week to get another one pick. They lost to the who did they lose to? The Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, they was gonna lose to them anyway. So
I mean, yeah.
They didn't have to do
but then the coast and
much.
the Texans, it was like the coast and the Texans was like a tank off. Like it was crazy. Like both of them was throwing interceptions back to back, fumbling the ball and stuff like that. But since the Texans lost, the Bears ended up getting Texans won. Yeah, the Bears ended up getting the number one pick. So what y'all think they should do with the pick?
You go first. You go first.
I'll go. I think it's an obvious one. Like you should probably trade down because number one pick is going to be a quarterback. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. I'm going to guess Bryce Young, and they don't need to take a position player. They don't need to take a position player or defensive player as they're most likely going to do with the number one pick. Yeah, it's cool to say, but if you could trade down to just even number 3, number 4, depending on what teams you're not going to draft. You know the Texans aren't going to draft the quarterback. You know a few teams are going to draft the quarterback. If you can trade and figure out what teams, with the lowest you could trade down and still draft the guy you want to, I feel like it puts them in a perfect position because they have a lot of holes on their roster.
For sure.
I'm thinking, if you could, I think trade down is an obvious choice. I think in a dream world, you trade down still in the top 5. I think the top 5 will be, if you're trading the top 5, quarterbacks will go off, so you will probably get your choice of, or whoever, I guess, doesn't get picked, Jalen Carter, Will Anderson. I guess being a Bears fan, I would love to see a first-round pick and a star, whether you trade him to the Colts or you trade him to the Panthers, you trade him to the Raiders, you try and get DJ Moore, try and get Michael Pittman, try and get Devontae Adams, try and get somebody to pair alongside Justin Fields. I'd say a receiver more than anything, and then draft defense. But I think to get a receiver would be insane for Justin Fields, plus the draft capital. But regardless, shout out Lovie Smith for throwing that game. That was Latif said a couple days ago, it's the best thing he's ever done for the city of Chicago.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. We got to salute Lovie Smith, but I don't know. So I think I saw last year the Jets, they got 3 first-round picks last year. So I think that's something we should try to do. We should try to fast-track this rebuild. I'm pretty sure Bears fans are tired of seeing the Bears stink every single year. Like, they suck every single year. And also, I didn't even know this is the first time we ever had the number one pick ever.
No.
And the Bears have never had
that. I don't think
since 1967, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, we got it 2 more times before, but it was a long time ago. By the way, am I dumb? The Jets had the first overall pick last year?
Sauce.
No, they had second.
Who went first?
They had 5.
Who's 1 and 2? Who's 1 and 2? Am I dumb?
It was they drafted Zach Wilson second.
No, that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Who was the number 1?
It was the Jags. It was the Jags and Lions.
Hutchinson and Trayvon Walker. Yeah. That was 1 and 2. My fault.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, using their example, they was able to get 3 first-round picks. I think we can be able to get multitude first-round picks.
They use them really good too.
Yeah, so that's what the Bears got to do. I think they can fast-track this rebuild if they get probably defensive players. I think we can go get some offensive players in free agency.
No, receiver-wise, no. There's no good. I don't want Juju. I don't want Jacoby Myers. It's a pretty weak receiving class.
So you want to trade the pick for a receiver?
I want a receiver and a pick.
So you would say
Panthers in their 1, Devontae in their 1. Obviously, you're getting more pick. Devontae, you get less than you would get with DJ. But the thing that people were throwing on for Michael Pittman was first this year, Michael Pittman, the first couple of years, and a 4th later down the line. So I think if you can get that kind of package,
not it.
But if you get 2 first, Michael Pittman, I'm sorry, a receiving room of Michael Pittman, Chase Claypool, and Darnell Mooney is not terrible at all. That's not a bad receiving room.
I just feel like he needs. I think the thing for Justin Fields is when we see all these quarterbacks taking that leap, they have a receiver to kind of go in their career with. I think Devontae Adams is kind of too
old
for that. Like Yeah, it would be good. Like if we were a receiver away from being a contender, yeah,
No,
get
I
Devontae.
understand that.
But
I get that. Yeah, it makes
we
sense.
got a
I
long
would
way. So he could get a receiver to like kind of grow up with him. How like Diggs and Allen,
That's
they're gonna be
facts.
I
they're around
would
the same age. They're gonna be
I would
perfect.
love DJ Moore. In a perfect world, I get DJ Moore.
I think that's a
I
good
think
too.
DJ Moore trading with the
I
Panthers,
like
getting
it.
Okay,
DJ Moore or getting Burns on the defense side of the ball. DJ Moore or either one of those two guys, I would take
okay.
with
So
first round pick. What's up?
the Panthers have the ninth overall pick. So
You need
we
more.
trade down to 9 just for DJ Moore. I
A
don't. That's
first, a
far.
first, first, and a first next year, a first this year, and DJ Moore. Yes, because another thing is the Bears, if they try to trade for a first next year, the quarterbacks only get better next year. Drake May and Caleb Williams might be first round picks if they get drafted this year. First overall picks if they're in this year's draft. So if the Bears can somehow trade with, I don't even know, like the Panthers or the Texans will probably be like some team who's going to be bad next year as well and can mess around and get their first pick. And let's say the Panthers get the top 2-3 pick, and then all of a sudden they're doing the same thing where the Bears are weird. You know, they're normally these bad teams don't have a quarterback they want to move forward with. The Bears do, so they can capitalize on that quarterback. It's quarterback-driven league. They capitalize on that value this year. Then they have a high pick next year.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
You could capitalize there, and then wait. You could trade down and get Marvin Harrison. Like the Bears, they can keep capitalizing on quarterback value. That's like best case scenario.
No,
Yeah, that is a good point that you bring up, that we don't need a quarterback. Like a lot of the bad teams there, that's the first thing. Like first two guys, quarterback, or you're drafting quarterbacks all in the first round, like 6-5 quarterbacks, even if they're not that good, just because you need one.
And like I think it's like Wembayama in the NBA this year. I think Caleb Williams next year. Like the hype is going to be insane. Like everybody wants Caleb Williams. All these analysts are saying, "Oh, he's the next Patrick Mahomes." Like I don't know if that's true. I haven't, you know what I mean? I'm not looking at his stuff, but like people, like teams love him. Like people are going to actively like what's the word? Why can't I think of it? Are going to actually tank. Why couldn't I think of tank? Are going to tank for Caleb Williams next year. People want Caleb Williams. So if Chicago can get a pick that has some sort of value in that draft to get Caleb Williams, that's another year of trading for a star player on the defense side. You know what I mean? Like they can make those pieces work. And I think it could be what you're saying. I wouldn't say it's to the extent of like the Thunder trading Paul George to like completely jumpstart their rebuild, but like the Bears getting a first round pick this year, trading that for stuff next year, trading like it's kind of like a Sam Presti type move where you keep trading that one pick into more and more and more value. And I think like for Chicago, that'd be amazing.
No, so like I said though, the Bears do need like help at every single position, even on defense.
Yeah.
I think we got well, they have a stud in Jaquan Brisker at safety. I think Kyler Gordon is okay.
Secondary's not bad. The secondary's not bad.
Yeah,
Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. Yeah. Like that's 4 decent.
They have like a but it's young though.
Yeah.
It's young, and I think they need a better defensive back coach as well. But so they need help.
I'm worried. It's like
definitely need a.
You worry about fronts.
Edge rusher.
You worry about front seven, O-line, receivers, running backs. You're fine. Quarterback fine. Tight end fine. The secondary, it's not amazing, but I think it's okay for now. Assess your bigger problems first.
That's the allure with drafting maybe like Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, because just like a couple players could jumpstart your rebuild. I feel like getting one of the best edge rushers in the draft, maybe in the game, can really restart your rebuild as well. Because I feel like defense end is probably the third most important position behind quarterback and maybe cornerback. So I don't know. So it's I don't know. They might.
Who's drafting 3? Who's drafting? Where the Colts at? Are they 3 or 4?
Arizona's at 3.
So are they
not
at
moving
4?
because they don't need. Who?
I think the Colts might be at 4. So you look at
the Colts are at 4.
Okay. So I mean that's the perfect. So you look at the Colts. You trade 4, a first next year. It was I think a 3rd or a 4th, and Michael Pittman, and then you will get Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. You know what I mean? Like if they make make that move, because it makes sense because the Colts want to jump the Texans. They want to jump the Texans to have their choice of a quarterback, right? The Colts pick Bryce Young. Texans pick C.J. Stroud. Then you basically have the easiest choice in the entire draft, because whoever the Cardinals pick, you pick the other guy. You know what I mean? Like you're not, should I pick Will Anderson or Jalen Carter? No, you simply just say, you pick Will Anderson, I pick Jalen Carter. And like that's what I'm saying. Like it gets the Bears the player they want. Yeah, Michael Pittman might not be the number 1 receiver we're all talking about, but you get Michael Pittman, you get a first next year, and you get a 4th. You know what I mean? Like that trade just is like amazing. It's like a great trade for the fact that you get the guy you would have taken at 1. Maybe it's not Jalen Carter. I don't think a lot of people have one guy so high and one guy so low. But like regardless, I think that's would be the best possible way for the
What do you
Chicago
guys
trade.
think? What do you guys think of Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, though? Do you guys think those are edge rushers that can completely change the team like their rookie year? Like, I want to say, like Nick and Joey Bosa or the Watt brothers? Or do you just guys think, what do you guys, like, see them rookie year? Like, are they going to be competing for a defensive rookie of the year? Or
I think Jalen Carter can potentially do that. He looks like a generational talent at the edge rusher spot. I think maybe a year ago we were more sure about. I'm sorry. Did I say Jalen Carter was? I meant Jalen Carter is more looks like generational. Will Anderson, I think we were more sure about him a year ago. I mean, he had a great junior season, but he had like phenomenal sophomore season. I think it would have been beneficial if he could like come to the draft after his sophomore season. But I think Jalen Carter is the best player in this draft, regardless of position. He's big, strong, fast. I just think he has a problem with stamina. Like, he can't play all 3 downs. He gets tired a lot because he makes so many types of moves trying to get to the quarterback. But I think if we can bracket him with another decent defensive player, he can like make a big impact in his rookie year. So I don't think taking him would be so bad. They can move down with the coach, like you just said, Max. That would be a great idea. I don't know how far Michael Pittman takes you. Like, can he help Jalen?
That's what I'm saying. Like, at that point in time, it's like
Justin
you're losing nothing.
Fields
You're losing
development?
nothing. You know what I mean?
You're losing nothing. But
experimenting with Michael Pittman.
Do you think Michael Pittman can help Justin Fields' development?
I don't think it's. I think it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
rather than just Claypool, because you got Claypool as your number 1 option, or Claypool and Moody. That's not really. I don't know. It just because Claypool's not a bad receiver, but I don't know if he should be 1 and 2. Now you got throw a guy like Pittman in there. I think Claypool's better already because of that. Mooney's better because of that, and then Pittman is also just being the target number 1. I feel like just having a number 1 helps.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Pittman, I think, had one of his best years with Carson Wentz at quarterback. So, I mean, like, he was a fantasy relevant receiver last year, not this year, obviously. This year the Colts just imploded. But, like, I mean, Michael Pittman, he said obviously had a down year this year. I mean, that's the whole entire Colts team has. But I think when you're looking at our receiving room, like, yeah, he's going to make an impact. He's not a bad receiver at all. Like, I would just be very interested in, like, honestly looking at my team and just saying, like, if I can add a first next year, late round pick, and Michael Pittman, plus I can get Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, like, just beyond the amount of value that I could ask for. So,
and then they also could probably add a decent wide receiver in free agency. I know there's like Alan Lazard, Jacoby Myers, who names don't jump out.
I'm not. I think
they don't.
I think.
You don't have to pay them that much money though.
I get Lazard maybe, and I think Juju. I think my favorite would probably be Jacoby Myers. I like Jacoby Myers. Oh, and McCole Hartman. I do like McCole Hartman. Coming into the draft.
Yeah, McCole Hartman would be good.
I think he'd be interesting, especially because I don't want the Bears to keep Dave Montgomery. I'm okay with trading him for a 3rd or 4th, like a day 2, day 3 pick. So if you could have your starting running back is Khalil Herbert, and you have McCole Hartman in some of these triple option, whatever read option sets, I think that'd be pretty interesting. Like, not use him like Cordero Patterson, like he's not big like a running back, but if you have more like Chiefs type plays where you have a lot of motion, you have a lot of movement on the offensive side of the ball, and having McCole Hartman, Khalil Herbert, just like very, very fast guys coming on and off the ball, like, I think that could, create problems.
No, but it's going to be exciting to see what happens with the Bears this offseason. Moving on to the next topic, we got what's next for Aaron Rodgers. I think I'm going to go first on this because I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. It was painful to see what was going on this entire season and then against the Lions because I just thought, like, we went on a 4-game win streak. I'm like, yeah, we're going to the playoffs. We
is crazy.
He says we about everybody. He says we about. He talks about the Bears. We talks about LeBron. We talks about Aaron Rodgers. We Patrick Mahomes. We
listen. If my favorite player, well, one of my favorite players on that team, I'm with the fan base. We're a family. So listen, Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, we go on a 4-game win streak. We can go in the playoffs. We can get face San Francisco, and I'm not picking Brock Purdy. Listen, I'm not picking Brock Purdy over Aaron Rodgers.
I know, I'm
one
not
day.
gonna lie.
You're crazy.
Stop it. No. Time out.
You're crazy. You're trolling.
Aaron
You're trolling.
Rodgers cannot
You're
beat the Niners.
trolling.
Aaron Rodgers cannot beat San Fran. He
Listen.
never has.
You don't believe that, Latif.
Listen. We get to the playoffs, anything can happen. Listen, that's all I'm saying.
No, it can't.
We get to the playoffs, anything can happen. But anyways, but we didn't even get there. We ended up losing to the Lions, which is
yes.
Lions,
What are you talking about the 49ers for? Like, thank you. You just proved the whole point.
I mean, Lions are a sneaky team all year. Great offense. The defense is terrible. I don't know why we couldn't score.
They had a terrible defense, and Aaron Rodgers, who's this offensive guru, was able to put up 16 points up against a team that the Panthers put up like 30. How does that make sense?
So what happened with?
I think the main theme of Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Packers is that they failed him. They failed him.
They couldn't
consistently put talent around my man. Like literally, never drafted a first-round receiver.
No. Stop.
Let me stop because you're gonna start saying Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb. Like
that first round, we talked about this. Saying, you never drafted a first-round receiver. Like, look at the top receivers in the league: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, sure, first-round receivers. Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams. Like, I'm just saying, like, for every two, there's two that aren't. Like, saying you didn't get a first-round receiver, okay, cool. They just can't draft well receiver. Well, like, that's not just
first-round receiver.
They can't draft well. It's not just first-round receivers.
They can't draft well. They failed him. They drafted Jordan.
No one wants to go there.
Why did they draft Jordan Adams? What was his point?
You had Devontae Adams. Why would you not try and keep
for right now?
Okay, last year they drafted Quay Walker and somebody else, and our defense was not even good. So they drafted him. Quay Walker was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Quay Walker was good, but we need a receiver. He needed a receiver to throw the ball to. Okay, he could have got anybody.
I'm just saying.
What receiver was available at your pick?
What
receiver was available at your pick?
Hold on. All I'm gonna say is Aaron Rodgers. For as good as Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be, there is no receiver that's out there dying to play with him, and that's crazy to me. Because it's the receivers who would love to play with Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert. I'm telling you, there's receivers that want to go to the Chargers to play with Herbert. How come that never happened?
Green Bay. Nobody wants to go to that cold weather. I wouldn't even.
That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Peyton Manning could get anybody who he wanted to. Peyton Manning, thank you. Peyton Manning could get anybody who wanted to.
Okay,
anybody.
Back to my topic. They never surrounded him with enough talent, and I just think it's time for him to go to.
Such a dumb
argument. Guess.
Listen.
Did he not choke a few years with the talent provided?
You had
a couple down playoff games. He had a couple down playoff games. I have to admit that he didn't.
But playoff. This is not basketball. Bad playoff game in basketball. Okay. Bad playoff game in football. That's the end of the season. So you can't just say bad playoff. That's a bad playoff season, Stan. At that point,
special team was terrible last year against San Francisco.
You
can blame play calling or whatever you want, but at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers got to stick up and say, "Nah, we're playing this."
Did you see the special teams performance last year in the playoffs?
This is crazy. Special teams is a crazy excuse.
They had the chance to win the game.
No. They had a blocked field goal and a missed field goal.
They had the chance to beat the Buccaneers on the fourth down. They kick a field goal. Aaron Rodgers,
that's not his fault.
He has to be
what do you mean that's not his fault?
That was
Matt LaFleur. The coach. Okay, I'm saying if Patrick Mahomes looks at Andy,
this is not high school football.
Yeah, exactly. If
you're a quarterback,
if Mahomes looks at Andy Reid and says, "I'm going for it," they're going for it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
All I'm saying is, I believe it was about to be tied going into halftime. Kevin King gives a 50-yard touchdown to Scotty Metter, whatever his name is. Kevin King had a masterclass of being terrible that game. He had a holding call that literally won him the game. But anyway, we're not talking about 2 years ago.
You can do individual calls for every single game ever, though.
Listen. Okay, let me finish though. I just think Tom Brady left the Patriots and he got this championship-ready team with Mike Evans.
Oh, because people want to play with Tom Brady.
Okay,
what?
Listen, we can go. He can go to. He might find a situation like that. With a lot of receivers, maybe the Jets, a great defense, and take them to the promised land. You add Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, and that's the best thing since Joe Namath. Like
you're lying. You don't believe Aaron Rodgers on the Jets is not getting a championship.
You don't believe Joe Namath was not even that good of a quarterback. Joe Namath was not even that good of a quarterback. Joe Namath.
I said best thing.
He's the most overrated quarterback of all time.
Hold on. There's no way you believe adding Aaron Rodgers to the Jets team is a championship.
I'm not gonna lie.
They're a contender,
Isaiah,
but you just said it like they're getting it.
I think that
they're a contender for a championship, and they can do it.
They're a contender. I agree.
For sure. They have you coming back with Breece Hall. They also have a decent draft pick. They can get them another receiver, another.
They don't need a receiver. But no,
I don't. I'm not gonna. I'll put money that they don't win.
You can upgrade.
Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore.
You can upgrade from him. You can cut Corey Davis and upgrade from him. There are a couple good receivers in the
I
draft.
don't know if I'm the Jets.
I don't believe.
Go tight end. Have the Jets have a tight end.
I don't believe Aaron Rodgers on the
CJ
Jets.
But
Aaron Rodgers on the Jets is
CJ
in the Chiefs.
so where do you think he
Bills,
should go?
or
Where do you think he should
Bengals.
go? Where's
I'm not saying the Jets is a bad idea. I'm just saying I don't see them beating the Chiefs, Bengals, or Bills at all.
people that I mean
He should go to the Titans. He should go to the
Okay.
Titans. He should go to the Titans. Are we talking about this? He should go to the Titans.
why do you think he should go to the Titans?
At least they'll win the division there.
First of all, yeah.
Debatable. The Jaguars are coming. They're coming. The Jaguars are
But
coming.
right now, for Aaron Rodgers' next 2-3 years, I think he'll have it. But Aaron Rodgers, it'll be the easiest job of his career because he has Derrick Henry. Like, their running game is insane, right?
Derrick Henry is definitely slowing down. He got a lot of carries. He's a carries merchant this year. I'm not
He
gonna
got a
lie.
lot of
He's-
carries. That's
Oh.
what a running back is.
his
A
yard-
running back does get a lot of carries. That's part of their job. You know, they do get a lot of carries. They
No,
run the
because
football a lot.
someone
Isn't
like
that
Aaron
a good
Jones,
thing that he's getting a lot of carries this deep into his
that's what I'm
career,
saying.
though?
Like
That doesn't mean he's
That's not
slowing
how's that a good
down.
thing? He's bro.
Because if
He's
you're
gonna-
slowing
he-
down, that means he's getting less carries.
Isaiah, he's going to start getting a lot more injuries because of his carries, and he was.
We've been saying that
carries
about
merchant.
him.
He got injured. He got injured last year, and he did not look himself for the 5 games of this year. Listen, we talking about top running backs. Aaron Jones, like every time he touches the ball, it's 5 yards. He's not a carries merchant.
So then,
Green
okay,
Bay didn't put
hold
the ball in
on.
his hands enough.
So then, why is
So-
AJ Dillon averaging so much? Like they have,
What you mean?
like Aaron Jones is so great. Like AJ
AJ
Dillon.
Dillon did not have a good year.
So I'm saying, okay, so if every time they give you the ball to Aaron Jones, he got you 5 yards. Why didn't they give him the ball more? You would
Because
think
they're
they
dumb.
just.
They're dumb. They don't know what they're
Oh,
doing.
okay.
They,
That's what it is.
Hold on.
Listen,
hold on.
they didn't have any receivers. They didn't have any receivers to throw the ball to, so they should have kept giving the ball to Aaron Jones and then forced the play action, and we would have had good shots. And then Christian Washington come on later in the year.
So
Go ahead.
one thing, it's like we just gotta take a moment to say, like, on whatever last Sunday, like every single NFC North team was like beyond excited, right? It was like probably one of the best feelings in the world. Like the Lions beat the Packers at home. The Bears are the #1 overall pick. The Vikings are cruising the playoffs, and like for once, Packers fans have nothing to be happy about. Like Packers fans get nothing. Like there's
Well,
no.
thank God I'm not a
But
Packers
that's the
fan.
thing. You should say we. Did you not say we? Okay, cool. I was making sure.
Me and
making
Aaron
sure.
Rodgers.
Just making sure. But like,
Yes.
my thing was Aaron Rodgers is like we could talk about him going.
Isaiah, you like that with Russell Westbrook. I don't know why you acting all funny. Like you like that with
We're
Russell
not
Westbrook.
talking about
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook right now.
I'm just
We're
saying.
not talking about
Latif,
that. Stop trying to
Latif,
change the
Latif.
subject.
I know you're saying I'm a Packers fan, but we could talk about Aaron Rodgers going to New York or going to Tennessee or going to Cleveland. Not Cleveland, but I'm just saying going wherever. But it's just not in
Oakland.
It's just not in Green Bay. He's just not going back to Green
I
Bay.
understand that,
And
and I think it's time for me.
that's
It's
just-
time for him to either retire or
that's
move
just
on.
amazing. I just want to draw a quick thing to it. Green Bay's over. Green Bay's done. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's done.
Jordan Love show potential, but I just want to say
And what is his three?
I just wanna say-
I thought you said it was a waste draft.
it was because you didn't even play him. Like if you
But I thought you said
knew
he showed
you-
potential.
like,
I thought you said he showed
it was a
potential.
slim chance they were making the playoffs before they went on that 4-game win streak. You could have played him and see what you had in him, but they don't think like that. But anyways, so if you don't tell me about the Titans, why do you think they're going to the Titans? Because I think they have Traylon Burks. They have
What I just told you. So first of all, they need to get one more receiver. You need to get one more receiver. I don't care who it is. Maybe you get
For sure.
honestly, maybe you get Alan Lazard. Maybe you try and get Alan Lazard to go there, and you get Traylon Burks, and you draft a receiver.
Alan Lazard is not good.
I'm just saying, if you can get someone he's familiar with who actually knows Aaron Rodgers, that's cool. But I think they draft a receiver. You get Traylon Burks. You have Derrick Henry, which at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is just getting older and older. So if you have a team, if you're playing against a team who has Derrick Henry, you're going to be worried about the run, not the pass. So I'm thinking that, when you're looking at all these open vacancies, I guess, yeah, you can go to Vegas because Derek Carr just said he's out. But, we just saw how that went, right? Their problem is not offense.
Okay,
Their defense
I'm
is
not
terrible.
excited.
Vegas' defense is terrible. So your whole claim where
I'm
he
not
had
excited
no
about
help,
their
which isn't
defense.
true, but he had no help, he should not go to Vegas. I think the Jets is a good choice. I think the Jets have a good defense, and they have a good supporting cast. But I think that I like Mike Vrabel better as a coach than Robert Saleh. So I think Mike Vrabel and Aaron Rodgers would have a better relationship. And I just think having Derrick Henry, a young Traylon Burks, I get it. He's not going to trust a young receiver as much. But I think if you can go out, maybe sign some – that's where you can sign a receiver, right? You sign a Juju, a Jacoby Myers, or somebody, and you try and then draft – I don't know what the Titans pick is, but if they can get Quentin Johnston or Jackson Smith and Jigba or whoever, you can get that, whatever. You can get a pick, you can draft a receiver, sign a receiver with Traylon Burks, and you have, who's their tight ends? They got Chagosium,
Nobody.
Awuzie, I think. Chagosium. And they have, I don't know, some other tight end.
The Tennessee have the number 11 pick, which is pretty good
So
actually.
yeah, you can get Quentin Johnston, but I think on the defense side of the ball, like I guess they're lacking a little bit. Like who they let go of.
Their corners are not that good. They have
Their
I think
linebackers
his
are
name.
good.
What is his
Their
name?
linebackers. Who's that guy this year?
Their defense line is very good.
And their linebacker like led
they
the
have a
league
good
in
safety. I
tackles.
forgot his name.
They could.
Yeah,
I don't know who. I don't know his name either.
yeah, he did.
I'm not
lead
familiar with the
tackles.
Titans.
So they,
I don't know the Titans defense like that, but I think it'd be a good situation, like as a team, but more like Mike
It'll be okay
Vrabel's a
situation.
good coach. I mean, I think what's besides like Miami would be good because I think Tua. I don't know if I'm Miami.
He's done for.
I think if I'm Tua, it's bigger than football at this point in time. But I think the Jets are interesting. Miami's interesting. I think the Titans are interesting. So
Now, Zay, what you think? Where you think Aaron Rodgers should play next, or if he should play at all?
He should definitely play. He's not at the end of his career. I will say that.
I mean, down years for down years for Aaron Rodgers are career years for people. I'm just saying. I just want to say that.
Let's calm down. 9-8, not making the playoffs. I wouldn't consider a career year for. I mean, I guess.
Tua got the same stats as him. And they got him. People were hailing him as a top 10 QB.
Tua was injured for like 6 games.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. If Tua's healthy all year, they're a 11-12 win team.
11-12 wins. Yeah,
They lost 4 straight games.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
with Tua not playing.
No, he was playing. He was playing. He played terrible. They lost to the Niners. They lost to the Packers.
Okay.
They lost to. He hit a 4-game stretch where he played bad.
Whatever. Besides the
Once-
point, I think the New York Jets are a decent team. I will say that. Las Vegas back with Devontae. If I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, I would try to put myself in an Aaron Rodgers fan. If I think I want him to win a championship, I'm going probably Jets first. I'm looking.
You just
around.
said that was bad. You just literally said that was bad.
I know. I'm just saying they're not winning a championship. If you're an Aaron Rodgers fan, you have won a ring, and I hope you're happy about that. You're not winning a championship, but closest thing that gets you there is probably the Jets. Once again, you're not winning a championship. There's a 0% chance that Aaron Rodgers ever holds a Lombard.
0% is
0%. 0%. I'm sorry.
Okay,
He's not winning a championship on the Jets.
We can
Or
come back
anywhere
to this when he wins another championship and we host that little body again. Because
in New York.
Wherever he goes, I believe he can do
He's
it.
top.
I believe he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, which is
Yeah, no, he is. I do. I like him. He's just not winning another championship again. Because the only way he would possibly be able to win another championship is if he had a culture and then he bring guys there with him, so he didn't have to play as good. If you need Aaron Rodgers to be,
he's a terrible teammate. I'm not gonna lie, he is.
That's what I'm saying. If you need Aaron Rodgers to be a top 3 quarterback in the league in order for you to win a championship, that's not happening because he's not at that point. It's been years. When Peyton Manning won, he wasn't even a top 16 quarterback. But I'm telling you, because of the culture in Denver, especially the good year that they had a few years before
a top
that.
16 quarterback is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peyton Manning was definitely a top 16 quarterback in 2016.
He wasn't
That
good.
one year that they won, he was.
The one
He
year
might
he
not
won.
been-
I love
pretty
He
Peyton
might
Manning.
not be top 5, top 10,
He was-
but top 16 is wild.
No, he had to be top 16
They
in
started
his
Brock
mind.
Osweiler. Like, no, he was bad. Brady Manning is my favorite quarterback of all time. I would go back and forth with you to say, hey, he's better than Tom Brady. I don't care. But he was not that good. He wasn't.
I understand.
But
top
here's what
16
I'm
is
saying.
Crazy, but I get it.
Okay,
Jackson's
I'm
from
sorry.
Indiana, so I think Peyton Manning's my favorite too.
But like Aaron Rodgers does not
Brady's best all
have.
time, respectfully. I like Peyton
No,
Manning, but
Peyton
I
Manning
think
is.
Tom Brady is, but I like Peyton Manning more.
No, Peyton Manning is. Tom Brady's the luckiest quarterback of all time. Besides the point, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that culture with him because he's not a good teammate where he needs to be a top 3 quarterback in order to win a championship. And I think he's past that point in his career. That's my main argument.
MVPs.
But I think
MVPs.
a little bit Isaiah's right. I don't know if he'll ever be up to maybe like for I don't know. I think he's really got to strike gold for a season because he's not better than Josh Allen. He's not better than Patrick Mahomes. So is he third? I don't know. I think there's a couple other guys I'd rather have than him. So.
As long as he's top 10. I don't think Matthew Stafford was a top 5 quarterback when they won. They also had a lot around him.
But here's the thing: Matthew Stafford is a good teammate. That's my point. Aaron Rodgers isn't. I think Aaron Rodgers has to be a top 3 quarterback in the league for them to win a championship. I feel like there's a few other guys you don't need them to be a top 3 quarterback, and I feel like there's still a chance you can win because of the culture that they set up, because of the teammates, because of the coaching. You put them on the Jets with all right coaching and him just being an all right or above average quarterback, that's not winning a championship. Now, if Aaron Rodgers plays like a top 3 quarterback in the season, sure, I think the Jets would have a chance. But I think he's past that point in his career, and I don't think he's a good enough teammate where he could just be a top 10 quarterback and still win a championship. I don't think he's at that point in his career where I don't think he's good enough teammate to be able to do that.
Okay. But moving on to the wild card weekend, we got a list of exciting games. Max, do you have the spreads? You want to go ahead?
Yeah, I
got
got the spreads. Hold on one second.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna start off Saturday afternoon. We have the Seahawks and the 49ers. The Seahawks are favored by 10. You guys got? Oh, sorry, Niners.
What?
Niners favored by 10. I saw the ad. I saw the ad. And I was thinking Seattle. Yeah, San Fran's favored by 10.
Okay, so
I think this is an easy choice.
Yeah, I'm picking San Fran.
It is an easy choice. I think San Fran win, but would they cover the spread?
Yes,
also the question.
Yes.
Which I don't. Yes. They might not.
No,
I think it's gonna be a closer game than people think.
I think San Fran.
What is your thing against San Francisco?
I'm confused. I don't like San Francisco, and I think they'll win by 17 points. I think it's.
I'm talking to Latif though. Like,
I think it's an interesting story because they have Kyle Shanahan, who's emerging as one of the best coaches in the NFL.
He's not emerging. He's been up there. He's been up there. I'm not gonna lie. He's not emerging. He's been top 5 like for 3-4 years. 2-3 years now.
Is that the same dude that lost 20-3 or no?
He was on the coaching staff.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know. Was that like a gotcha moment? Because I hope it wasn't.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Aaron Rodgers lost, 4 or 5 NFC championships, but all of a sudden he's the GOAT of all time. So,
anyways,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the correlation of that.
No, was that supposed to be a gotcha moment? Like, I'm confused. Gotcha.
Aaron Rodgers lost 4, and you still think he's great. It's a wild take.
We're ignoring that. Anyways, so I just think they might cover the spread. They can definitely get it under to a one score game. I think
the Seahawks are bro. That's gonna be probably. I don't think there's going to be a lot of blowouts.
Pete Carroll can. No. He has. I think he has a blueprint to beat this team. It's just that if the Seahawks can execute it, they can make this a close
next
game.
Next game. We're not talking about this.
You're trolling, bro.
I agree.
Final score: San Fran 24-7. 24-7. 24-14.
I don't think Brock Purdy's about to come out and light things up. Like, he don't have to.
I didn't say that. 24 points is when his defense is setting him up in good positions, though, and all you got to do is just.
They're going to win by more than 10. Is what you're saying?
Yes. If I had to guess, 24-10. 24-10. That's
their last. I mean, they did. Their last matchup. Their first matchup was 27-7, and then Brock Purdy beat them 21-13. I mean, Brock Purdy.
See, that's not
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's. Hey, Brock Purdy has put up 33, 35, 21, 37, 37, 38. He's scoring at and saying like he's leading his team to big victories. So I saw something today.
Like I forgot who was making. I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He had the number 13 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He's definitely a system quarterback, but he's playing better than how Trey Lance and Jimmy G played. So
I mean, Tom Brady's the system quarterback.
Anyways,
next one. At 8:15 on Saturday night, we got the Chargers and the Jaguars. The Chargers are favored by 1.5.
Okay, so I think it's gonna be an interesting game.
Simply, I'm gonna say my first. I got Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville will win the game, so I got Jacksonville.
I actually picked Jacksonville as well because Brandon Staley is literally a dummy. I can't even say what he is because he played Mike Williams in all his starters in the meaningless game, and so I think it was Joey Bosa and Mike Williams both got injured.
See,
I did not know that. I did not.
I'm like one of the biggest Justin Herbert fans out there. I think Justin Herbert's top 5 quarterback. Like, I think he's a great player. He's doing the team around him right now. We talked about bad coaching, team's a little injured. Like, he can't throw checks down to Austin Eckler, like, when that's the only target. You know what I mean? If Keenan Allen, I think he's playing, but
Mike Williams had a good
Mike Williams out now, so I think the Jags will keep rolling. 1.5, but I think Jags keep rolling.
I think it's gonna be a close game. Jacksonville defense has been playing amazing to end the season. Literally won the game against the Titans. We're going to see, though, because I think Trevor Lawrence is not going to play better than Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert will his team
to be close.
To make it close, but we'll see.
Isaiah, who you got?
This is both their first playoff game.
The Chargers played last year.
I'm not going to lie.
Never mind, my fault.
Yeah, they never made the playoffs.
Yeah, that was last game. I forgot about
that. Herbert. Not going to lie. I think it's going to turn into a quarterback matchup. Even though the Jaguars are a better team, I think it's going to turn into a quarterback game. Who, in the fourth quarter, plays better. And I think
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is going to play better.
Herbert definitely is more clutch than Trevor Lawrence at this point.
Because the thing is, while Justin Herbert does not have the best team around him right now, especially since I didn't know Mike Williams and both got hurt, the Jacksonville Jaguars aren't a team either that's like stacked. Like say it was the 49ers, for example. Yeah, 49ers are a better team. Even though Brock Purdy isn't a better quarterback, that 49ers team is still really good. I see the 49ers winning that. But because the Jacksonville Jaguars aren't like a stacked team either, and Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence, I think as long as it's a close game going to the fourth quarter, which I think it will, Herbert's going to outplay Lawrence in the fourth quarter. I think the Chargers are going to win.
That's a good point. Next game, next.
All right, next game we got at 1 o'clock. The Dolphins go to Orchard Park, New York, to play the Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo is favored by
Give me Miami.
Buffalo's favored by 13.5. And I'm still taking the Bills by 20. Bills by 20. No Tua. Tua's out. Bills by 20. Skylar Thompson.
I know. I
don't think Teddy Bridgewater's playing. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's playing. So I'll take
13.5.
Yeah, the Bills are turning into a team of destiny. The Bills, especially like with the old Lamar thing,
I see that.
with the whole city behind them, I think the Bills are turning into a team of destiny. Will they beat the Chiefs? I don't know, but I think this is an easy win. Easy win. The Bills have.
I see that.
Bills have so much to play for right now. They're gonna go rolling.
For sure. I think they're going to come in this game and dominate. I don't think Josh Allen will play most of the fourth quarter. I think that's how bad they're going to be beating them. What's his name? Skylar Thompson? Not good. Teddy Bridgewater is passing good.
Respect to Skylar. He's a third-string quarterback. I mean,
yeah,
like he's not. Yeah,
I think this game, the Bills' defense needs this game as well because they haven't been playing well as of late. So they need a big morale booster. And so, yeah, they're gonna whip them. Really
I
bad.
agree.
All right, we got at 4:30 on Sunday. See, this one I think is, besides the Chargers-Jags, I think this game is the biggest toss-up. We got the Giants going to Minneapolis to play the Vikings. Vikings are favored by 3. I'm picking the Vikings, but I will not be surprised if the Giants win. The Vikings have shown signs of being a fake team all year. They just played this Giants team and won by a game-winning field goal. So, I mean, maybe it's not primetime Kirk, so they got that on their side. If it was at 1 o'clock, I'd probably pick the Vikings by, 3 touchdowns. But now I'm thinking I think the Vikes win by 7. I think the Vikes will win by 7. But, again, I could see the Giants pulling something out the hat and winning.
I think they can definitely cover the spread. Last time they met, it took a 61-yard field goal for them to win the game 27-24. I think Brian Dable was a great coach, and he'll adjust from the loss against them early in the season. I think they'll really focus on Justin Jefferson, make Adam Thielen and T.J. Hawkinson and Kirk Cousins beat them, and that's a good formula. But I think I actually have the Giants winning this game. I think they're a Cinderella team, sleeper team. I would see some Giants fans on Twitter say they look like 2011 again, which I don't know. Daniel Jones is playing very good, and the Vikings defense is not all that at all. Their secondary is absolutely terrible. Patrick Peterson is their best corner, that says something. He's like 45 years old. So I don't know. It all depends on how good Saquon plays as well. But I think they cover the spread for sure, though.
I am not that big on the Giants. I do think it will be a somewhat close game until the fourth quarter. I think the Vikings are going to start to pull away, as surprising as that sounds, because Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. I don't know. I just don't believe in the Giants. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think the Giants have a cornerback that can hold Justin Jefferson. The only time we've seen Justin Jefferson have like some pretty bad games where he was quiet was against the Packers because they have Jair Alexander. I think it was like one more near the end of the season. If you guys remember, he had like a pretty quiet game. I don't remember off the top of my head.
He's had a couple because defense have been focused on him so much.
That's fair. That is a fair point. So we'll see how they adjust, especially since they have so much time to prepare for him and stuff. I still think the Vikings are going to win. I think Justin Jefferson's going to have a very good game, 100 yards.
I think he's trying to. I mean, he got smacked by Green Bay, and I think people have been kind of talking down on him. So he did whatever. I don't think
they also have Jair Alexander.
But that's what I'm saying. But the Bears game didn't really matter. So you know what I mean. He didn't really play that much. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like his last game. People are like, damn, he got locked up. So now you're going up against a. I mean, did you say the Giants defense was bad earlier, Latif?
No, I said the Vikings
Okay, okay,
defense is
okay.
bad.
I was gonna say
I
the
think
Giants got a pretty.
the
The Giants
Giants,
have a solid defense. I was gonna say I think
not personnel wise, I think
they're
their
good.
coaches
They're
are
good.
very
Yeah, they're a
good,
good unit.
and so
They're a good unit. So I think
yeah.
Justin Jefferson, yeah, will try and go make a big splash this week. He needs to get his mojo back before you go into Philly or you go into San Fran. So then on Sunday night we got the Ravens and the Bengals. Cincinnati is favored by 9.5. I'm.
They're gonna cover
It
that.
all depends.
They're covering that for
It
sure.
depends, but is Lamar playing? Do we
No
know?
Lamar Jackson. They already
Yeah,
said
he's not
Okay,
playing.
so
He's
then
out.
yeah,
Which I'm sad
I'll
about
pick the
because I
Bengals.
really,
I would have picked the Ravens.
I
I
really
would pick
like
the
Lamar.
Ravens to at least cover, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
I'll pick the Bengals.
What is that? The AFC North? They always have really tight games, regardless of who the quarterback is.
Let me
Like,
see. Let me see what they
That's
played. I'll
uh,
see. They played when they played the Ravens earlier on in the year. Uh, Hold on.
go without Lamar Jackson though. I think they have a game without
They
Lamar Jackson.
played. They lost to him. What was this? Yeah, Lamar played.
They lost.
They lost
Yeah.
19-17 at the first time they met, and then second time they played, they won 27-16.
Right. So the games are always like
Who
pretty
is
close,
that?
regardless of who's playing.
Anthony
I think the
Brown.
rivalries.
Anthony Brown. It's not even Tyree. It's not even Huntley.
That's who played.
Anthony Brown. I thought Tyler Huntley played.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know
to be
either.
honest.
I thought Tyler Huntley played.
I think the games in the AFC North are always heated rivalries, really close. So I think that they have a chance to cover the spread, but there's no way the Ravens are beating them. The Bengals have looked like the best team in the league over the last 5 to 6 weeks. Looking like the most complete team.
They were gonna beat the Bills, by the way. Just saying.
They were going to beat the Bills. Joe Burrow is looking like the second best quarterback in the league. And then their defense has been playing very good. So, yeah.
I'm really sad that Lamar still is like it just seems every time the end of the season, like last year, where were they 8-0, 8-1? Then he got injured. They went on like some big losing streak, didn't make the playoffs.
Wait, who is
this year?
Do you know some analyst? I don't know his name's Nick something. I don't know what his name is. But have you heard the stuff about what if you trade Justin Fields for Lamar Jackson?
That's terrible.
Yeah, I saw
I see
that was
that.
Nick
I know
Wright.
Nick Wright.
Nick
You're talking
Wright.
about
Nick Wright. That's who it is.
Both teams say no.
I agree.
Both teams say no.
I think it's a dumb trade anyways. But I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was kind of like
Actually,
that was in my head.
do
I
you
was very
think that?
confused.
Do you think the Ravens will say no because they won't have to pay Justin
Yes.
Fields right now? And
But
Yes,
you
but
could
they're
get- you
also
could get more
going
for
from
him.
contender to now you're
You could get so
worse.
much more for
Like,
Lamar than just Justin Fields.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Some teams gonna
That's
throw
true.
some teams could throw you a lot more. So
I think Justin Fields is emerging as the best running quarterback in the entire
That's
league.
good, but that's not.
He has.
I'm not.
I think
the
okay,
Jets-
I think
the
his,
Jets-
I think
the
his
Jets
passing
would-
potential is better. I think his passing potential is better than Lamar too.
the Jets would.
But here's
the Jets would
here's
pay-
the thing.
The Jets
Here's
would
the
pay more
thing.
than the Bears would. I think the Jets would pay a lot more than the
But
Bears.
here's
would.
the thing, Latif. The Ravens and the Bears are in two different scenarios right now. The Bears say no because they don't. They get Lamar Jackson and they're not. And now maybe they barely made the playoffs with 9 wins, and then they lose in the first round. So
you got to pay him as
that
well.
doesn't.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and they have to pay him. That doesn't help the Bears like that because that speeds up the rebuild. If they're one piece away, okay, sure, but they're not. They're a few pieces away. And once again, the Ravens, they're competing for a championship. Every time Lamar is healthy, they prove that they are up there. I don't know. I'm not going to say up there with the Chiefs and the Bills, but they're right below them, right there in that AFC. Every time he's healthy, then whatever reason he gets injured and stuff. So Justin Fields, yes, Justin Fields does have potential to be better than Lamar Jackson one day, sure. But right now he isn't. Next year he's not going to be better than him. So now they're going from 13 wins from when Lamar is healthy, 13, 14, like being their peak if Lamar is healthy. Now they're going to be lucky if they win 10 games. It just doesn't make sense for either team.
Okay, so just for a quick second, little subtopic since we've been talking about Lamar Jackson, what do you think he should do in free agency?
Lamar on the
What
Jets.
I
That's a championship right there.
I told you guys this earlier. I think this team would be like they've got to fix their defensive issues. But if you put Lamar Jackson on the Vikings, I'm just saying. I've
That's
said this
good.
before. Like
That's good.
Kirk Cousins is not winning championship. I know it's
I don't know.
not
That's
gonna
a
happen.
unique spot for him.
It's not gonna happen. But I would love it if it happened. Partially because I think that purple and yellow Vikings jersey. I don't even like the Vikings. That jersey is so clean. I think Lamar, he already wears purple. I think if he wore the purple, Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, that is the best 1-2-3 punch in the league. That team is
That is
Like
solid.
I get it. You got Mahomes. But Mahomes doesn't have a number one receiver and a number one running back like that. Josh Allen is a number one receiver, doesn't have a number one running back. Like that team, if they can fix the defensive issues, that Vikings team is scary. But with what's with
But imagine all the people that are gonna have to give up to get Lamar. There's gonna
yeah,
be
no,
even more
I get it.
overrated.
You throw a lot of picks plus I think Kirk Cousins. You can convince the Ravens that somehow they're going to compete with Kirk Cousins. I'm just saying, like you throwing 3 first-round picks and Kirk Cousins. If I'm the Vikings, I low key do that and I put all my money into this big three because right now the NFC North is wide open. No one's really winning the NFC North except for you. They're leading that.
AFC North. Yeah.
No, NFC. I'm talking about the Vikings. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like that thing is wide
Okay,
open.
I think
I'm just saying, like
I'm a key.
you're almost guaranteed to make the playoffs every year. The Packers aren't beating you.
You are.
The
That is-
Lions. The Lions are a better team than you. Like Bears, they obviously aren't. So
the Lions are gonna be very scary in the next coming years. I
They
think.
need more
That is
But
true.
that's the thing.
But the Lions is your biggest competition.
Yeah, it's not
I feel
bad.
like that's
The
a
Lions
really,
and the
'cause
Vikings.
I'm not gonna lie.
They both have to fix their defensive issues. They have good offense.
Yeah.
They both have to fix their defense. So at this point in
But
time,
I'm not gonna lie. That's also a free guaranteed at least 3 wins a year because you're gonna be one of those 2 teams twice, and I'll say sure maybe the Bears or Packers still won from you off an off night, but besides that, it's 3 guaranteed wins, maybe 4. Like if they're on like what they're supposed to be. Like, they're supposed to beat the Bears and Packers 2 times a year, sure, but you know how football happens. But that's still 3 guaranteed for a year, 4 wins a game. And then the Lions being your second biggest comp, that's splitting a season series. That's you beating the Lions 2-0. Now you're 5-1, 4-2 from your division, and you're just playing other teams. That's a playoff team for the next 5 years. That's a division winner. That's a top 4 seed for the next 5 years. Especially with how young Justin Jefferson is.
I mean, that's a good idea match, but I want to say like I also feel it's sad because like I don't think Lamar's getting paid. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. The Ravens are not
by the
paying
Ravens
him,
or
so they
anybody.
just pay
By the
Roquan.
Ravens or anybody.
Yeah, no, the Ravens. They just. I think any team would love to pay Lamar Jackson. I don't know what the Ravens are doing. I know he keep getting injured though. That's looking pretty bad with knick-knack injuries at the end of his at the end of the year because he's run so much and he takes a lot of hits, and it's a knee injury can be really concerning because he has a PCO strain. Stuff like that can linger and come back later on in your career. But then like they just paid Roquan, so they probably gonna try to franchise tag him, and I don't think he wants to be franchise tagged. I firmly think Lamar shouldn't even play this year without getting paid his guaranteed money. But I'm just gonna push the agenda. I think he should go to the Falcons. That's just a match made in heaven.
Yeah, you love that matchup.
Mike-
You keep saying that.
Yeah.
I don't
Mike
see.
Vick
Are you?
2.0.
I don't see. Yeah,
Why is that
I
a match made in
don't
heaven?
see the vision like you do because the Falcons just suck. So I think like it could be.
I
fun.
think
Listen,
no.
it'll be
Here,
cool,
I'll
but,
tell you Latif's vision right now. You want to know his vision?
Tell me
It's
how they
because
do it.
Lamar. If you think Lamar Jackson, he's an ATL dude at heart. Like
Yes,
he's supposed to
he
be.
is.
But that's it. That's it. He's there for the vibes.
He's there for the vibes.
I can
He's
see
there for
him
the money.
living
He's there
there.
for the strip clubs. That's what he's there for.
Lamar Jackson wants to win a ring. I promise you.
We're talking
I
about
promise you, Lamar
Lamar
Jackson wants to
Jackson,
win a
not James Harden.
championship.
We're talking about Lamar Jackson, not James Harden.
Like,
I'm just
I don't
saying,
think Lamar cares about the strip
Lamar
clubs.
Jackson, he's a cultured young man. I just think he would love Atlanta, and then I also see a vision on
That's
the football
it.
field.
The city, not the team. Like, what are we talking about here?
They have some of the most cap space in the NFL. They have Drake London. They have Kyle Pitts. They'll have a good offense. They'll probably keep Cordell Patterson. If they can upgrade this defense in the draft or through free agency, they have a lot of money. So I think Arthur Smith could do a good job with that team, and they could be. And they're in a weak division too. Tampa Bay is about to fall off. New Orleans is going to fall off. They can win that division.
That's the only fair point you made. I'll give you that.
Okay.
That's the only fair point you made.
So what
I'm
about
just saying.
cap
I
space?
think
The
you
cap
live
space is
like
not a fair point?
you live in like franchise mode in like in that the way you just think like all you got to do is that fix the holes, draft, sign some players, and that like it don't work like that.
I don't know, man. Nah, Max, what's the next game, bro?
Shit, I
next
think my
game.
thing was fell off my fault. Our final game is, in my opinion, it's the most interesting, but I think this one's easy. The Cowboys and the Bucks. Cowboys are favored by 2.5. Give me the Bucks. Tom Brady's never lost.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's never lost to Dallas. I'm sorry. Dak Prescott looks like.
Why do you think the Cowboys are beating them? They have
Why aren't the Cowboys beating
Dak
the
Prescott.
Bucks? And I understand. No, I understand. As big as a Tom Brady hater I am, I understand how good he is. I'm a hater,
Dak
but I
Prescott
still
is
respect
not
him.
good. I'm sorry, Dak
But
Prescott-
how
Dak
the
Prescott's
Bucks
scary. He's
suck.
not good.
The Bucks suck. The
Dak
Bucks
Prescott
suck.
leads the league in interceptions with 5 less games played than everybody else, bro.
Okay, why are we acting Tom Brady? Why are we acting like Tom Brady has a good team though? That's the thing. That's the
They beat them earlier in the year, and they got a lot more healthier throughout the season. And I just feel like when it comes down to
Dak Prescott this past couple of weeks turns the ball over. He leads the league in picks, right? Turns the ball over so much. The worst thing you want to do in the playoffs.
They just lost to the Redskins.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Where are you getting this?
The Bucks have some pretty bad losses too, so I don't know what we're talking about here.
I'm just saying, like, the worst thing you could do in the playoffs is give the ball to Tom Brady. And that's just what Dak Prescott's going to do for an entire 60-minute game.
Isaiah, if this game is close, Tom Brady's winning the game. Like, he doesn't lose close games. He doesn't
I do think the Cowboys
better blow out the Bucks in the first
for sure.
quarter.
I was going to say, I think the Cowboys have to start this game off good. They have to take it because here's the thing: this isn't like Tom Brady when he was on the Patriots. They're down 28-3. If he's down 28-3 with this Bucks team, it's over. There's nothing. I don't care what year he turns into. They're not winning. But I do understand, like, close game, yeah, sure, Tom Brady versus any quarterback, Tom Brady, okay. But if this Cowboys start off good and it just gets to 14-3, 17-3, I think the Cowboys win that, finish the game. Now we're going to the fourth quarter and it's still 21-17. All right, that's probably not the best position for them to be in. But as long they're up 2 possessions by the time fourth quarter, third quarter, I think the Cowboys win this game. And I think it's also very possible for the Cowboys to start off really good. Like, I feel I can see them first possession, they score a touchdown. Like,
but yeah, so I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think they probably will cover the spread though.
It's 2.5. I get what you're saying, Isaiah. Like, from on paper, like, yes, the Cowboys should win. But this is another one where it's just like, I'm not betting against Tom Brady. I've done it so much in my life. I'm not betting against Tom Brady in this game. So I mean, if he did not win a championship with the Bucks, it'd be a different story. But he has. So I think I don't know what has changed from his Super Bowl team to this year. Like, he still has Mike Evans. He still has Chris Godwin. He's got Leonard Fournette. His O-line gets banged up. I get it. His defense, whatever. The only thing that's really changed is coaching. So, you're looking at the team. Like, the players can still play, right? They still have the ability to, like, Mike Evans didn't just take a hiatus for a year and all of a sudden he can't go get a 1,000-yard season. Like, he's – you know what I mean? Like,
Mike Evans played very good top receiver in the last couple of games.
He's one of the most underrated receivers. I never really knew how great a receiver.
I also just hate the Bucks because Mike Evans told me in fantasy.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
That's
fair. But still, I'm sorry, but the Bucks. I'm not gonna say like a 20-point win, but I think the Bucks come out on top for sure. I'm saying I'm not. I'm not saying they're gonna blow up.
I was gonna say, like, okay.
All right. So if I'm right, Latif, we got one more topic, and then something new we're bringing. And it's called.
Okay, so.
Yeah, you hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I said we're bringing a new topic to this: start, bench, and cut. So we got 2 sets of 3 quarterbacks that we're going to talk about. Isaiah, I'll ask you first. You can go first. Our first set is Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Start, bench, cut.
Dang, I feel like this is the easiest start. Patrick Mahomes. Don't care. He lost Tyreek Hill, and he's still MVP. Best record in the AFC. You can argue that it should have been the Bengals if they won that game. It's whatever. But they got the number 1 seed. They lost. He lost Tyreek Hill. Now, the bench between Burrow and Allen, I think that's neck and neck.
I think it's easy. Latif, I don't think you think it's as easy.
You think it's easy?
I pick Josh Allen.
I don't know why.
I'm not a Burrow fan.
I have a whole explanation.
I'm not a Josh Burrow. I'm not a Joe Burrow fan.
Josh Burrow.
Yeah, that's bad. I see. Me personally, I'd rather have Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow. That's me personally. If I'm building a team, I would rather have Herbert over Joe Burrow.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I knew I have to die on this hill. Like, if you switch their positions, I'm sorry, it's not close. The Chargers are not a 10-7 team. I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna talk about this.
Justin Herbert is on the Bengals team last year. They're winning the championship. And it's not close. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback. He's doing more with less players. He's throwing touchdowns to Josh Palmer and DeAndre Carter, while Joe Burrow is throwing touchdowns to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Those 3 receivers are better than anybody. And I get it. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They're injured. Like, every other week they're injured. The only thing the Chargers have that's quote unquote better is running back, because they tried to upgrade an O-line. Their O-line is not great. the Cincinnati Bengals O-line last year, it wasn't great. I get it. They upgraded this year. The Chargers, they drafted Rashawn Slater, but they're dealing with injuries now. Like, the Chargers team is in shambles. Their coach sucks. Like, nothing is going good for the Chargers but Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow has everything.
Here's the thing I hate about Justin Herbert fans. Hold on. Here's the thing I hate about Justin Herbert fans. Because you know what their main argument is every single time? If he played for this team, if he had him, that's their main argument. Bro, he just made the playoffs for the first time this year. Can we see him in a playoff game first before we throw out these comparisons that if he was on the Bengals, he would have won the championship? Who knows if they even would have made the championship? We don't know how he plays in the playoffs, bro. I'm just saying, we say, hold on. All we say is, he has all these tools. He has a great arm, blah, blah, blah. He has the most excuses. I'm sorry. Because when he loses games by himself, when it's the fourth quarter, he has a chance to win, and he's throwing wild interceptions, he's doing whatever, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But when he wins a game, everybody, Justin Herbert, if he played for the Bengals, they will win a championship. But when he's selling the Chargers, I'm not gonna lie, you're right. The Chargers don't have that many pieces. But there are possessions, those are plays where he sells the team, and nobody talks about it. Nobody. And that's the thing I hate about Justin Herbert fans, because all his good things are there. You'll see them every time. Every time he has a bad game, because he's had bad games this season. But the way Justin Herbert fans talk, you would not think so, because like you would think this man was 17-0
at the end of the day, everyone's got bad games. That's cool. But all I'm saying is, Joe Burrow, great. He's a good quarterback, right? Good quarterback. Can't say much more about it.
He's a great quarterback.
I'm just saying he's a good quarterback. I'm just saying surface value, he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying like great quarterback.
Can I get my take in there?
He's a good, great quarterback. You can say what you want. It's cool. But like Joe Burrow, what is like if I'm drafting those two quarterbacks?
I'm about to tell you.
If I'm drafting those two quarterbacks today, I'm picking Justin Herbert. He has so much more upside than Joe Burrow has. Like Joe Burrow, like you said, he's a great quarterback. He can hit the throws.
Yes.
He can hit the throws. He's good, right? But I'm much rather taking Justin Herbert, who, like, I'm not saying he's Josh Allen. Don't say that. He can have a explosive play like Josh Allen. Like, I think when Joe Burrow has these explosive plays, it's because he's throwing the ball to explosive receivers. Like, Jamar Chase makes insane catches.
Okay.
T. Higgins, insane catches. Tyler Boyd goes off. Like, they just are overall, like, we won't get into this right now. I'll let Latif talk. But at the end of the day, I think Justin Herbert's a better quarterback. I just said what? I'll take Mahomes, start Mahomes, bench Allen, and I'm cutting Burrow.
Okay, so I actually agree with a lot of your both of y'all points. I think first of all,
first answer is yes.
Cut.
First is start bench cut.
Okay, my start bench cut. I'm going.
Don't even worry about Josh Allen. I know you're benching or you're cutting Josh Allen. Don't just get him out of the picture.
I'm cutting Josh Allen because I'm tired of people taking away the championship run that Joe Burrow just had because he had all these receivers and all this. Like, he got it done in his second season. He changed the whole culture.
He didn't get it done.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. He went to Super Bowl in his second season.
Didn't get it done.
But he changed the energy. He changed the culture in Cincinnati, and he's probably the best quarterback they ever had. Located, but
they won a Super Bowl before.
Okay, so this is how I'm going to break it down. This is how I'm going to break it down. This is the reason I am cutting Josh Allen. First year, right? Josh Allen, rookie year, terrible. First year, Joe Burrow, he has a good rookie year, but he gets injured. He was having the best rookie year, one of the best rookie years in history. Second year, Josh Allen, he's okay, he's just decent. Second year for Joe Burrow, he literally goes to the Super Bowl, and he has won a very good regular season in the later half of the regular season, and it was like 34 touchdowns to like 12 picks or 15 picks or something like that. He goes in the playoffs, he beats Patrick Mahomes, he beats the Titans, he beats the Raiders. He falls short to the Rams, which is one of the that was a stacked team. But in the third season, Josh Allen, he had a MVP like season, but he falls off in the end, and then they lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, in their third seasons, we're comparing them because I think Josh Allen in his fourth season. In both the third seasons, Joe Burrow has played a lot better than Josh Allen even playing this year. Josh Allen is not playing that good this year. He has leads the leagues in red zone interceptions. Like, he's supposed to be the MVP candidate coming into the season, but he just wasn't. He had shaky play throughout the whole entire season. So, and then Joe Burrow, he had one game with 4 interceptions. After that, really, he's had a stellar season. They're on like a 9-game win streak. He beat the Chiefs. He's playing like almost lights out. Like, I feel like when you comparing the two, Josh Allen has a bigger arm. He can run more, but Joe Burrow is more accurate. He reads the field better. I think a wide receiver would rather play with him than Josh Allen.
Hold on. Read the field.
Also,
what do you mean by read the field better? That's just another way to say he's more accurate.
No, because accurate, I feel like is like fitting the ball in the tight windows.
Are you saying he throws less picks? Are you simply saying he throws less picks?
His completion percentage is better as well.
That's what I'm saying. So
he has to be more accurate.
That's accurate. So
I'm talking about reading the field, like going to your first read, second read, third read. I think he's better at progressions. Like he's a more prototypical quarterback.
He makes a smart pass more. He picks.
Yes,
yeah.
and Josh Allen is a lot more reckless with the ball. So even for a second best quarterback in the league, I have to go Joe Burrow right now based on all the stuff
here's my thing about Joe Burrow.
I
think Joe Burrow right now is underrated because now in the day and age we're at the quarterbacks. We're at the quarterback generation where it's all physical talent. Like Patrick Mahomes, people talk about how good he is and he is once again best quarterback in the league. But you talk about how fast he could, how strong his arm is, and how he can run. Lamar Jackson, how he can run. Justin Fields, how he can run. Justin Herbert, about his strong arm. I think because Joe Burrow doesn't have one of those things where he doesn't have the strongest arm and he's not the fastest runner, he's underrated because he's just a natural quarterback. He's literally a Tom Brady, the young Tom Brady. If Tom Brady came into the league right now, people would just be like, oh, he's a normal quarterback. You don't see how good he is until he's making those smart reads until it's the fourth quarter.
Did you say Joe Burrow's like Tom Brady?
In a ways that where they're physical.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard people say that Justin Herbert's Tom Brady and Joe Burrow's Peyton Manning.
Because the only reason I don't think that's Justin Herbert, I feel like the main thing y'all use is his arm.
He has the super. But in my opinion, I feel like Joe Burrow is more highly rated than Justin Herbert. So if anyone's underrated, I feel like it's Justin Herbert because his teams are not good. You know what I mean? You're talking last year and the year before.
All the texts I see. You just said yourself that if Joe Burrow was on if Justin Herbert was on the Bengals, they would have won the championship.
100%.
I just don't believe that.
I think he would have been.
100% is crazy.
I think
crazy.
Maybe the defensive line was pretty good in LA. I get it, but I think that I would have if you give me those two teams, one with Justin Herbert, one with Joe Burrow. I'm picking the one with Justin Herbert that I think would win a championship. I think they have a better chance.
Since they even get to the championship, though, because they're in close games.
I'm still saying
games where you have.
I would rather pick Justin Herbert.
No.
I would rather pick Justin Herbert. All right. Well, we can't keep talking about this. We got to keep going.
Where's Latif?
Latif lagged out. I think he's coming back. But the last start bench cut does actually talk about Justin Herbert. So we got Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Trevor Lawrence.
Seeing that, I think that's easy.
Yeah.
I get start Herbert, bench Jackson, and cut Lawrence. See, I think that's easy.
I think the start Herbert thing is easy. I think I agree with you. I agree. I think I know Latif disagrees, but I think it's a little. I don't know. I think the Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence thing. If you talk, it's like you can't talk about this year. You can't talk about this year because this year, in my opinion, obviously Lamar Jackson's been injured, right? You can't really talk much about Lamar Jackson because, unfortunately, he's been injured. The contract situation, just not the best situation for him. But I think, Trevor Lawrence has been playing. The last game wasn't great, but Trevor Lawrence, he's looking better and better and better. I think for the future, give me Trevor Lawrence. But if I'm starting a team next year, I want Lamar Jackson. I think Trevor Lawrence's ceiling is.
What do you mean by the future? Are we talking about 10 years? Or talking about 8 years, 7?
If we're if I'm not playing, so
because if I'm starting a team in the next 3 years, I'm taking Lamar.
But for
next 3-4 years,
if I'm building a team for the future, for forever, right? I'm a new franchise. Everybody's at the draft. I'm picking Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to have the better peak than Lamar Jackson will. But I agree. If I have a championship team,
that's also because he's a lot younger, though. Because if you're talking about, if I'm talking in the near future, I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
But I just think that Trevor Lawrence's peak will be higher than Lamar Jackson's. But I think if I obviously have a team in play, I'm going to pick Lamar Jackson over Trevor Lawrence.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Yo.
Hello. You good?
If you back?
Yeah.
All right. So
I don't know. I wonder did they start recording or not?
Nah, it's okay.
No, it says an hour and 4 minutes. We good. We good.
So
did you make Max the host?
You can say
no. It said it was still recording.
You're good.
You can say yours.
Okay,
we just talked about our start bench cut. Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence. We talked about ours. We both agreed that it's Herbert, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence. I Isaiah thinks it's a blowout.
Herbert, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. So this is my thing, Isaiah. You know, Latif gonna disagree. So I think Isaiah was a lot more. The gap is far. I said the gap's kind of close between Lamar and Herbert, or Lamar and Trevor Lawrence. I think that Trevor Lawrence. I think it's a little bit closer than Isaiah thinks. But I know what you think. You can say your start bench cut to everybody.
So I have Herbert, of course. I think he's the top 5 quarterback in the league. Then I have Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson. And that's not crazy to say. I think
right now, because right now,
going forward in the future, in the immediate future, and I'm talking about the next 3 to 5 years. First of all, I think Trevor Lawrence will be a lot more durable. I think he'll be a lot more durable than Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is starting to become a little injury prone. He's getting these nickname injuries at the end of the season, costing his team.
But Latif, if you have a championship team next year, are you still picking Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, because I don't think a running quarterback can win you.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are.
I don't think a running quarterback can win you a championship. Do we have any evidence of a running quarterback winning you a championship? I think Trevor Lawrence is a lot better passer. He's 6'6", 240. Like he's literally a perfect prospect coming out the draft. And he had a really bad season his first year because of his coaching situation and the situation in Jacksonville. I think the culture is shifting in Jacksonville. He'll have a very good career, and I think ultimately I would go with Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson because he's like a way better passer. We talking about a quarterback right here. Like I think running is a very good attribute that you can have as a quarterback as well, but it always goes on how you throw the ball. Because if you can run and pass, then it's hard for a defensive scheme for you. But if you can,
all right, why are we acting like Lamar can't pass though?
He can't pass. He still needs to go. He still needs to develop that part of his game a lot further. I think Jalen Hurts took that leap. And he did not.
He also had A.J. Brown to help him. Lamar, that's the biggest difference. Like, let Lamar get a receiver, and I promise you things will change. I promise.
Yeah, I honestly would love to see Lamar with the number 1 receiver. I don't know. I'm not a Lamar hater. I'm not a Lamar lover. Like, I'm very curious to see, like, put DJ Moore, put Michael Pittman, the same guys we're talking about with the Bears. Like, obviously Devontae Adams will be great, but like, put like these mid-tier wide receiver ones. Like, let's like what kind of stuff they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's a fair point. He needs more help as well, but I don't know. I can't get over the Trevor Lawrence is like he's starting to become what everybody believes he could be. He over the last 9 weeks or so, he led the league in completion percentage. He had some very good games against the Chiefs, and they lost against the Lions, which was a tough thing. They went 0-5 in October, I believe, but. I think as this team continues to grow together, as Trayvon Walker continues to grow, they're getting Calvin Ridley next year. So, like you said, Lamar has no help. I think Trevor Lawrence's help is coming in abundance, and I think they're going to draft him another wide receiver or get another decent one.
Yeah, they got Ridley now.
Yeah, they got Calvin Ridley. So, I don't know. It's nothing. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a top 5 QB. In the NFL, and it's an argument for him to be top 5, top 10 this season, especially
top 5 is crazy.
Okay, so let's say for the future.
The future, sure, but you said right now.
So I saw Colin Cowherd say this, and I don't really agree with Colin Cowherd about most things, but I had to agree with him about this. If a GM calls for Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, you're saying no, that you're not trading him. But after that, you can have a conversation with someone. And I just think that's why I'm saying he can be in the top 5, top 10 conversation, even after this year.
I mean, I feel like age is a big pair. You can't put him in top 5 because he's younger than everybody else. But we're just talking about top 5 right now. Just what if you need, here's my thing. You guys keep talking a lot about like, in the future, sure. That's fair to say you like Trevor Lawrence. He's young and he's already this good. But I'm just saying, championship-wise, I have a championship team. I got a number 1 receiver. I got a top 10 running back in the league. I got a top 10 defense. I need a quarterback. I'm not picking Trevor Lawrence over, once again, Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. I'm not picking him over Jackson. I'm not picking him over Hurts. That's not to say in 5 years I won't. Now we're having a different conversation though. So it's like we have to figure out what conversation are we having. Are we talking about start bench cut for the next 3 years, or start bench cut for the next 7 years, or start bench cut right now? I need a quarterback. Who am I going to say? Because right now, if it's right now, I'm taking Lamar Jackson. Now if we're talking about in the potential in the future, then sure, Trevor Lawrence. But right now, Lamar Jackson for a championship team, and it's. I want to say it's not close, but it's Lamar Jackson by a pretty. He won MVP, and I do see how it hurts him, how injured he gets. But the Ravens are really good.
He just won MVP. That's the crazy thing. When no one's talking about he won MVP, like I don't get that. But
they're really good when he's healthy. Like literally last season they were 8-1. He gets injured and they go on like an 8-game losing streak. This season they're really good, and then they drop all the way down when he gets injured. And yes, he's becoming injury prone. So if you want to say Trevor Lawrence in the future, sure, I would not disagree with that. But I'm just saying right now I need a championship team. I'm the Jets right now. I'm calling Lamar Jackson. If I need a championship or blah, 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 I'm calling Lamar Jackson before I call Trevor Lawrence. But now if I'm in the Jets, I want to be good for the next 10, 12 years, sure, I'll call Trevor Lawrence. But you're talking about championship team, I don't know how long I'll have to win it. I'm calling Lamar first. Which is why I said bench him, then cut Lawrence. Now we're talking about for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. That's my point.
All right, Steve, you want to wrap it up?
All right, man. Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up. We having some connection issues. I think the Wi-Fi went out on my end, so I'm sorry about that. But we still trying to. It's still our first couple episodes. We still trying to figure out what's the best way to record. What's the best way to get the content out. We have some editors we working with, so I think the content will start to look a lot more professional and a lot more smooth and a lot more appealing for the fans. But I want to say thanks to Isaiah for coming up on the show today.
No problem.
It was very entertaining. I love his personality. That's why he's one of my closest friends. But yeah, though, I think that's all. Y'all can say goodbye.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having me on.